The Miami Heat had arguably the greatest upset in the playoffs last season when they defeated the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. And it wasn't some close, down to the wire 7-game series. It was an ass whooping. Straight up. They annihilated the Bucks in 5 games, and the series honestly looked like it might be over by the end of Game 2. Milwaukee was completely outclassed. Giannis was shut down, Middleton and Bledsoe underperformed as they often do, and the Heat just kind of ran away with the series before eventually going on to make the NBA Finals and go to 6 games against the Los Angeles Lakers. So this season, many people expected the Heat to repeat once again as the Eastern Conference champions. They thought the team they were young, they were going to get better, they'd improve, and they would make the finals once again. However, things have not exactly looked all that great for the Heat so far this year. They are currently the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference with a 40-32 record. Not exactly the greatest, and their overall net rating is only 16th in the NBA. Their offense is 18th, and their defense, while still pretty good at 7th, is not top 5. This just doesn't look like the elite team it was last season. So many people have already written off the Heat, or so I thought. However, with the playoffs coming up, the matchups have been decided, and in the first round, the Miami Heat are going to be matched up with, you guessed it, the Milwaukee Bucks. And suddenly, out of the woodwork, here come the Heat fans saying that they are going to beat the Bucks once again. Miami is going to have another crazy playoff run, or at the very least, they're going to make it to the second round to face the Brooklyn Nets. And so I just wanted to let you all know my opinion. Do I think that the Heat are going to be able to once again upset the Milwaukee Bucks? Or should it even be considered an upset this year? Should the Heat just be the favorites going into this series? So let me talk about that. Looking at the Heat this season, there is one big caveat with this team when you look at their record. Yes, they are 40-32 on the season as a whole. However, their best player by far, sorry Bam Adebayo, but Jimmy Butler has missed a decent amount of games this season. In the games he plays, the Miami Heat are 33-19, aka a significantly better record than they have right now. They also happen to go 11-3 before the end of the season, before Jimmy Butler missed one of the last 2 games against the Milwaukee Bucks. This team has been winning when Jimmy Butler plays, and it has led many people, specifically Heat fans, to say that you should not count this team out yet. And there's a good reason for it. Jimmy Butler is having a phenomenal season. He's averaging 22, 7, along with 2 steals, and he's shooting 50% from the field, as well as 86% from the free throw line. This is arguably the best season of his career. He's still an elite defensive player, he's an elite playmaker now, something he wasn't a few years ago, and he's insanely efficient from the field. Meanwhile, his co-star, Bam Adebayo, also having the best season of his career with 19 points and 9 rebounds on 57% from the field, as well as 5 assists. He's a great playmaking big. He's in the Defensive Player of the Year race because of what an amazing defender he is. And then you look at the role players. First of all, this team has hella shooting. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn. All guys who are shooting above... Wait, no, that's incorrect. Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson are shooting above league average from 3. Tyler Hero is only shooting 36%. However, we know that he can get hot, and he started the season having a down year. However, when he gets hot, we know this dude is a sniper. Likewise, Trevor Ariza off the bench is a decent enough shooter. Goran Dragic is a pretty good shooter when he plays. And Andre Iguodala... I'm sorry, I can't even joke. Max Kellerman, what the fuck were you talking about? You wanted this man to take the final 3. It's a meme at this point. It's a complete NBA meme that Max Kellerman wanted Andre Iguodala to take the final 3, even though he's not even a good 3-point shooter. But Iggy is still a useful player. Iggy and Ariza can provide very good defense off the bench. Goran Dragic is a phenomenal backup point guard for this team, where you can start him. And then you've just got a lot of very good, high-energy young players in Hero, Nunn, and Robinson. These are guys, not to mention Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. This is not a team you are ever going to see not hustling. You are ever going to see taking a game off. And considering how much more they were winning when Jimmy Butler played, the injuries they had this season, I absolutely understand why a Miami Heat fan would be confident in their chances against the Milwaukee Bucks, especially considering the Bucks actually look a bit worse this season than they had the last 2 years. Yes, they're going 46-26 overall, but that's only third in the Eastern Conference compared to the previous 2 years when they were first. Their defense has fallen off after being first in the league last season to only being 10th right now, and their net rating, which was also first last season, is now only, quotation marks only, 4th overall. So while this team still looks very good, they don't look absolutely incredibly unstoppable like they did coming into the playoffs last year. And you can still make a strong argument that Giannis can be stopped the same way he has the last 2 seasons in the playoffs, where you make him shoot threes. He is only shooting 30% from 3 this season on 4 attempts a game, and also you can foul him. He's only shooting 68% from the free throw line. Not a horrible number by any means, but certainly not the number you want from your primary superstar player when the game is on the line and you need a clutch free throw. The difference with the Bucks is Drew Holiday. Holiday has been added to replace Eric Bledsoe, aka one of, if not the worst playoff chokers in NBA history. And Drew Holiday has been phenomenal for this team. He's playing like an all-defense player. He's putting up 18 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals, and he's shooting 50% from the field and 39% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. This man has been absolutely everything the Bucks wanted and the Bucks needed. He's another dynamic scoring and playmaking option for this team, as well as being a great defender. He really does make the Bucks a better team. Likewise, Mike Budenholzer has just a little bit switched up his schemes. Now, he's not doing anything crazy, but he has played around with his schemes more than he has the previous 2 seasons, and this makes the Bucks much more dangerous, because the whole issue within the last 2 years, and I would say the biggest issue with this team, was that Mike Budenholzer's dumbass would not change anything. This man would not adjust a single play depending on the opponent they faced, and it murdered them against the Raptors, and it murdered them against the Heat. Now, assuming he really is willing to adjust, this could be huge for this team when it comes to winning games in the playoffs. So I've got to say, even though I think this will be a very close series, I am still taking Milwaukee, and the biggest reason at the end of the day is because Victor Oladipo is not playing for the Miami Heat, and I don't trust their perimeter defense. When you look at the Miami Heat, alright, I thought coming in, once they got Oladipo, I thought they had a real chance to make the finals once again if Oladipo came back healthy, and he was once again playing like an all-star. However, what happened instead is Oladipo got hurt, as he always does, and now he is scheduled to miss the entire next season, as well as these whole playoffs. And without him, I just don't know if the Miami Heat have enough. You see, you look at this team's defense, they have great defense in the center with Bam Adebayo, and they've got great forward defense with Jimmy Butler, Andre Iguodala, and even a little bit from Trevor Ariza. However, their guard defense is Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, and Duncan Robinson, as well as Goran Dragic. These are not guys you want defending Drew Holiday, and I think this is the series that is going to convince Bucks fans, whether they should be or not, depending on how high you are on the Nets or the Sixers, but this series is going to convince Bucks fans that they can win the entire title because they have Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is going to feast on this team and their weak perimeter defense with his improved three-point shooting and with his incredible playmaking. Likewise, I think Giannis is going to be at least a little bit better against this team than he was last season. They don't have Kelly Olynyk in the paint anymore, and I know Kelly Olynyk is by no means some elite defender, but he is a slightly underrated defender, and he is a big body to throw in front of Giannis. Likewise, there's somebody else on this team. I'm trying to remember who it is. I want to say it's Jay Crowder, who used to be on this roster, and he was a big defensive player to get in Giannis's way as well. This team just isn't quite set up as well as they were last year to take on this iteration of the Milwaukee Bucks. And another issue is Jimmy Butler. For all his amazingness this season, for as great as he has been, he is shooting 24% from 3 on 2 attempts a game. That is not a sustainable number, and considering the Bucks defense is still 10th overall, their net rating is 4th, my bad. Their defense is still very good, however, and with Drew Holiday there to defend Jimmy Butler as an elite defender, I don't know if he's going to be as good in the playoffs when he's only shooting 24% from 3. And I hate to say it, I really like Jimmy Butler, but I don't know if I believe in that three-point shooting. 24% from 3, man? Really? That's atrocious. Like, that's Jimmy, for record, Jimmy Butler is shooting worse than Giannis from 3 on half the attempts. That's how bad this man is shooting from 3 this season. I don't know if that'll do it in the playoffs. He might get locked out just like Giannis does every year, where you just keep him on the perimeter and you crowd him up when he gets to the paint, and that's that. I just don't know if he's going to have it in him to carry like he did last season with this atrocious three-point shooting. Now, let me say, if the Miami Heat do come out and they have some crazy upset against the Bucks, I will not be, absolutely shocked. But if I'm giving you my prediction for this playoff series right here, right now, a week before the playoffs start, I gotta say Bucks in 6. I really believe that Mike Budenholzer is going to adjust a bit more, Giannis is going to play a bit better against the Heat's defense, and Drew Holiday is really going to be the deciding factor. Without Victor Oladipo to be an increase for the Heat, Drew Holiday is going to be too much to guard alongside Giannis, Chris Middleton, and all their elite role players, and their good coach. And the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win this series in 6 games. I'm sorry, Heat fans, but I just don't see another finals run loading. I think you guys are going to go out in the first round this year, and it's not that big of a deal. You got a lot of young players, you got cap space, there's plenty of time to go at it again next season, but this season, I think the Heat are a first round out, and I think all the hype around them is a little bit overblown. I'm taking the Milwaukee Bucks.